Welcome to Inside Sim Racing, and something that I haven't done in a long time, and that's review a set of headphones. And I'm just gonna throw out a disclaimer here. I am not a sound expert, but I'm gonna give you a review on how these pertain to using them with sim racing. So I'm gonna try them with Gran Turismo, Forza 5, and then on the PC as well. And these are the G430 surround sound gaming headset by Logitech. Haven't had a Logitech project on the show in a while, and gonna open this up, show you how they come boxed, and go from there. Anyway, let's see how these things come packaged. They use some craft paper to. And first of all, I like the look of these things. These things are sporty looking as far as the color and stuff goes. So I liked Logitech headphones in the past, so got in touch with them and thought, actually I was trying to find out if they got a new wheel coming out. So since they wouldn't give me any information on that, I thought I'd ask, hey, how about reviewing a set of your new headphones? And let's see what they're compatible with here. What you need: Windows 8, Windows 7, USB port, 7.1 surround sound, requires software installation. Doesn't say if it's compatible with the PS3. There we go. So, basic packaging. How about that blue? Man, that is some bright blue, isn't it? Instruction manual, important information that I usually don't read. Warning, electric shock hazard. Do not expose this product to water. First of all, I gotta say, lightweight, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on the quality, but on the good side, lightweight, because you don't want a heavy set of headphones sitting on your head and smashing your ears for long periods of time while you're trying to game, or in our case, sim race. Basic as far as what the headphones are. Let's see if you guys get a little bit close up here. No adjustments on the actual headset themselves. Lots of flexibility as far as that goes. Yep, you can lengthen them, because that's good for me because I got a big fat head. Well, right off the bat, nice feel. And like I said, that lightweight makes them feel a bit nicer. I like this cord. This is one of those, here, let me see if I can get you a close up here. This is like it's not a standard cord that's gonna tangle on you. It's like a cloth type cord. You got a green plug for audio, and it looks like the pink plug for your microphone. Here's where your sound adjustments go, and basically you just got a microphone mute and a volume adjustment. Take a look at that. And this looks like a mini sound card. A lot of times what these are, you plug them into the USB port and then it acts as a type of a sound card. Get another view there. So let's look at the instructions really quick, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, that's exactly what that's acting as. Is the sound, some kind of sound card. And it looks like you're going to make adjustments with these settings. So these look like they're mainly for the PC. It doesn't say anything about PlayStation compatibility or Xbox compatibility, but honestly, with this, I can pretty much plug into anything with the mini plugs. So, but again, that's probably not going to give you microphone compatibility on either system. Definitely not Xbox 360 or Xbox One. And I have no idea about PlayStation. Again, it doesn't say anything about that. So I'm assuming these are mainly for the PC, but I am going to try them. I can tap into my sound system and at least use the audio portion. I'm not going to need a microphone anyway on my PC anyway, or on my Xbox or PlayStation. So gonna check these out, show you some footage of me driving, and then give them a rating. I'm gonna give them a rating on comfort, sound. A lot of times when you get headphones like this, they're not amplified enough, because basically I got a feeling if I plug directly in to the sound system, you know, unless I'm plugging into an amplified sound system, these aren't gonna do the job. So, but you never know. Maybe they're amplified some way. I do doubt it, but we're gonna see, and I'm gonna give them, you know, rating on sound, how loud they are, because a lot of times, like again, if you don't have that amplification, they can be kind of quiet. Comfort, that's pretty much it. I'll tell you what I think. Okay, so now that I've had a chance to try these things for a few weeks, I'm gonna let you know what I think about them. And I'm gonna go over a few different categories: comfort, fit, sound quality, sound level, and a few other items that I'm gonna discuss with you guys. And I'm gonna start with the specs. And by the way, I'm no sound expert. I basically got these specs off of Logitech's page, so if it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, I pretty much don't, but I can tell you how these things feel and how they sound. So the headphone driver is 40 millimeter, I think. Frequency response is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Impedance is 32 ohms. Sensitivity, 90 decibels. The microphone pickup pattern, so the type of microphone, is a cardioid or unidirectional. And the type is a pressure gradient electret condenser. Frequency response, I'm assuming on the microphone, is 50 to 20 kilohertz, and sensitivity is negative 40 decibels. So I think there's some kind of sound muting or something like that that's going on. Again, I'm not an audio expert, and I apologize for that. So now I'm gonna tell you how they performed. First thing I needed to do was download the Logitech software so that the little mini USB, which I've got right here, little mini USB sound card is recognized, and it also gives you some software where you can adjust a bunch of settings, you know, volume, microphone volume, regular volume, bass, treble, and then there's actually a full equalizer where you can adjust a ton of different settings. And by the way, I'm running Windows 7, and it says it's compatible with Windows 7, 8, and Vista. Didn't say XP, but I don't know, maybe the driver just doesn't work with it. But I mean, if you just wanted to plug this in, you know, with the mini jack, you could do that. You don't have to plug it into this piece if you have a sound card already on your system. So again, with the software I mentioned, you can adjust the microphone, volume, all that stuff. And there's also Dolby 7.1 surround, which is simulated. There's definitely not 7 or 8 speakers in here, but the way it works within the software is that it makes it sound like it's coming from different directions, and it works really well. So one of the first things I wanted to test was if it worked with SimVibe. So if you're not familiar with SimVibe, you need a separate sound card, and the SimVibe software basically then transmits the data from the games iRacing, rFactor 2, Assetto Corsa, which are the games that I tried it with, directly to transducers or butt kickers. Some of these little mini USB sound cards are not compatible with SimVibe. You're really supposed to use 2 different sound cards or set sound cards, but I was happy to find out this worked great. And I just plugged it into one of my front ports on my tower, and I've got sound through the headphones. Oh, I also made it the default sound system within Windows, so just to make sure that the games picked it up. In iRacing, you have to go and change it to the sound card or the sound system that you're using, and I went ahead and switched over to that. Actually, I guess I could put these around my neck so they're still in view. So next, speaking of around my head or on my head, I'm going to talk about comfort. So my head is a little on the large side, and I have to say these headphones fit great. Lots of adjustability. As you can see, I got them maxed out for my head. You can also turn them this direction, so you know, if you've got them, you know, hanging over your seat or whatever, you're not going to break them. So they're not going to snap if you know they're pushed the wrong way. Plus, it just helps them fit your head a lot better. You know, it makes the cups fit snug. You know, since most newer headsets have the volume adjustment, like the G430, I think they are, Logitech headphones, which I think we reviewed. I know we had a set. They have all the volume adjustments in the cups here on the outside of the cups, as well as they're wireless. These do not, which makes them very lightweight. You can barely feel these things on your head. And then on top of that, it's got the foam cups here, or well, the cups here have foam on the inside, and then this cloth cover, which is really comfortable. And there's also this cloth cover and some more foam up top here. So, you know, besides barely being able to feel these on your head because of the lightweight, they feel great because they're really comfortable, and these cushions provide a lot of comfort. Another cool thing about these cushions is that, and I'm not going to take them off, you can take them off and wash them. So if you're doing some, you know, heavy sweating, which I tend to do in races even if it's not hot in this room, you know, after a while they'll probably get kind of nasty, but you can just pull them off and wash them. So that's really cool. Okay, next up, you know, it's got a super long cord. I have over 6 foot span here, and it's pretty much 2 of my arm widths. So this thing's like over 10 feet long, plenty of cord. You know, I'd honestly prefer not to have a cord, but for long races, I think I'd rather have the comfort and deal with the cord. And it being so long and made of this kind of wrapped cloth, it doesn't tangle, you know? So a lot of times when you have these cords and you kind of do this with it or whatever, they'll tangle up. No tangling, and again, long enough to where if you have your PC at a distance away from your head, you should have plenty of length on this cord, so that's good. Also on the cord, you have volume adjustment, which I mentioned at the beginning. Volume adjustment and just the ability to turn off and on your mic. Okay, I'm gonna put these back on my head here so I'm not fumbling with them. So next up, let's talk about sound quality. Again, it's got that 7.1 surround sound setup, and really, actually, I'd say one of the highest quality headphones I've ever tried as far as the sound goes. Again, I tried it with iRacing, Assetto Corsa, rFactor 2. Also, listened to some music, and one thing I noticed was that on the default settings, the sound is a little low. So if you really want to crank it up, which I had everything maxed out, you know, in the Logitech software, in Windows, and then on the, you know, the adjuster here, and it's a little low with the default. Now, if you go into the equalizer settings and crank some of the equalizer settings, and you got to work with it a little bit. If you never work with an equalizer, don't just raise them all up, because, you know, you're dealing with highs, mids, or lows, mids, and highs across that equalizer scale. So you're going to want to adjust it properly, and it's gonna change from music to games, but I noticed that when I cranked that up, it got to the point where it was almost too loud. So, and you know, you don't want to damage your ears. I probably have damaged them enough from all the concerts I've gone to and running this at very loud levels. You know, for me, when I'm wearing headphones, I want to drown out any other sounds around me so I'm not distracted during races. And, you know, with your EQ adjustments, you can definitely get it there. Next, I'm going to talk about the microphone. Plenty of adjustability. You can bend it, you know, put it to where you want it. You can actually, if you're not using it, tilt it up, and then you can obviously, like I said, you can turn it off here on the adjuster. And I tested it in game, iRacing, and you know, it's got voice over IP, so it's got voice chat in game. And asked the dudes that were in the room with me how I sounded, and they said the sound quality was great. So I'm really going to base that, as far as the quality goes, on what those guys told me. And actually, I watched some other reviews. I think there was a review on Newegg that I watched, and they said that the quality was really good as well. So, going to give that a thumbs up for sure. And last, I'm going to talk about the price and go into some pros and cons, the rev scale, and give you some final thoughts. Price, I saw them on Amazon for about $70, and then on Newegg, like I mentioned, for about $65. Also saw a review somewhere that said that they were going for $55. So you wait long enough and you can probably find a good deal on these. But hey, $70, $65, and I'm gonna get my pros and cons right now. That's a good deal. Okay, first up, the pros. Great sound quality, like I mentioned. Very comfortable, lightweight, priced under $100 and down to $55 if you find a good deal on them. Works with SimVibe, which was a huge pro for me. Long cord, that doesn't tangle, the 7.1 surround sound, and the Final Pro, these removable and very comfortable ear cups. Cons, it's not wireless, but again, you'd probably lose some of the comfort level because it's gonna make them heavier if you've got the transmitter inside these cups, and then they're probably gonna add volume adjustment and that kind of stuff on the cups, so it can be a con, but I could definitely deal with the wire. Next con, this color, it's pretty much, I think it's the only color they come in. It's this really bright powder blue, and not that I'm trying to be fashionable in my headphones, but I could go for a different color. Maybe an all black or gray, I think would be cool. But, and again, that's a pretty minor con. And finally, not loud enough in the bass settings unless you equalize it. But again, you just adjust that equalizer. And again, trial and error, mess around with it a little bit, and you can find some good settings that are definitely gonna be loud enough. But actually, I'll put it on the rev scale now, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give these things a 9 out of 10 because high quality sound, lightweight, very affordable, and it works with SimVibe. I mean, for me, I have a really kick-ass sound system on there, but let's say my wife has gone to sleep or I have some people staying over or something and I want to race, and I mean, they're gonna hear some vibration a little bit, or it's late at night, I don't wanna wake the neighbors up. I'm not gonna crank up that sound system. I'm gonna use a set of headphones, and honestly, I could see these being the set of headphones that I use, so I could definitely recommend them. And actually, that's pretty much my final thoughts on it too. So if you want to know any more about it, send me an email, darren@InsideSimRacing.tv. I'd be happy to tell you about them. Come to our forums. We're gonna have the review's gonna be posted right in there, so you could ask questions there. We're also gonna have it on our blog or even on YouTube. Send some comments. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's gonna wrap things up. I'm Darren Ganji for Inside Sim Racing. Hopefully you've enjoyed my semi-professional review of the Logitech G430 headset. And again, I'd recommend it, especially for the price. Thanks to Logitech for sending them to me. That's gonna wrap it up. I'll see you guys next time. This show is brought to you by Butt Kicker. Want to take your gaming, music, movies, and of course racing simulations to a whole new level of realism? Do it with a Butt Kicker tactile transducer. Right now you can get 10% off of these packages by using coupon code ISR10 at thebuttkicker.com.